Hey, just read a book called Whose Life Are You Living? And it's a really good book. It's about personalities, and personalities really intrigue me. But there was many personalities in it. There was, the charmer, the actor, the extrovert, the introvert, and it was kind of really saying that there's five main characters, personalities. Now, that's just in this book because there is a really famous personality test. It's called the 16 personalities if you look it up on Google. And they've done intense research and they believe there's 16 personalities, and it's a really good test to do to find out where you are. But with this book, there was only five personalities, and they were the perfectionist, and that's the person who kind of always is fixing the cushions and is very uptight. And then the carer, they're always given too much and not looking after themselves. And then the taker normally is was quite a spoiled child, the taker, and got everything. And then the intellect is very intelligent, always in their brain, but not very emotional. And then the rebel, who is very confrontational and had very strict parents and different things like that. But when I was reading through it, I was kind of thinking, personalities are very complex. For me, I feel like I'm always growing. I would hope you are always growing and changing into different personalities, because I thought I was, when I was younger, I was saying maybe was a bit of the rebel. But then when I read this, I said, well, that doesn't sound like me. I didn't have strict parents and I wasn't fighting with everyone. It was more, I liked to be authentic. I didn't like to be in the same mold as everyone else. And I liked to wear different clothes, and that when I felt something was unjust, it just felt from my core that it was not right, and I would fight for it. And in that way, I was a rebel. But I got on with all my teachers, and I was a nice student. So that didn't make sense to me. And then I was saying, I was a bit of them all. I think in the end, you have to be a bit of every personality. You have to be an all rounder. You have to become full circle, because like I was even saying, oh, I was a bit of the carer once, and that was me. Normally, the carer is, you always look for something that you're missing, and I was needing to look after myself, but I went out with someone that I had to look after, and you then try to change them, and then that drives you crazy. And then what happens is pain always awakens you, and you come out of the relationship, and then you look at yourself, and then you do inner work. That's what happened to me. I didn't keep repeating. And this other people as well they're really shy and they're passive, end up with the real aggressive controller, and that's not good either. And a good tip actually is, because no one's immune to controllers, but some people are more susceptible to them, is if you're ever asked out on a few dates, change the place you're going, the time and the place, because a controller will get annoyed. And when you go on a date with them, say you're leaving early, they nearly want to make you stay. They'll pressurize you, and that's how you know, telltale signs. So that's a good tip. But so what I was finding out was that you're missing something, so you need to find everything. You need to be a bit of everything. You need to do inner work. And if you think in life, what I find is, reading this, I find everyone's a bit of a fuck up, bit of a mess at some stage. So you do need a self-help book or you need to listen to some audios or videos or go to counselling and different things like that. It was I read another book, it was saying like people that come from broken families or poverty are more damaged. But I, growing up, remember, rich kids, the parents just threw them money and never spent any time with them, and they had problems. So that's where it kind of led me to the conclusion everyone's a bit of a fuck up at some stage. And I think that's the biggest delusion, and it's a very sophisticated delusion that we try and say we had the perfect life and we are perfect in all of this, and it's kind of BS, but But so I think the more real you get and the more truthful, and they say people that are truthful don't have many friends, but I think you need to hear it, and I think everyone's on the same page there. You know, no one's went through life without making a mistake or a failure, and I think people think failure is a weakness and vulnerability is a weakness, and for me, my failures have, you know, made me rise above them and made me rise through the ashes and made me triumphed very much. And I've turned them around to my positive. If I, you know, I'd help people through if they went through the same thing as me. And some people even go through worse abuse, and you should turn it around and get healed and you know, help others, you know, so to change it into a positive. That's a really good road to go down, and I advise anyone to do it, because there is no mistakes, you know, there is no failures, and you need to get that clear in your head. We're all the same, we're all human, so we are. But I guess when you're on the road to, you know, healing, self-realization, finding yourself and, you know, loving yourself and all that, you will become creative, you become in harmony, and you'll become, I suppose, productive as well. But I think what happens is, oh, my legs here, stretch them. You know, I think people, you have to have everything, like they're all positives, but even some people are aggressive, and they're aggressive, and that's part of them, that's their personality. These things are everything's part of your personality. The problem is they become aggressive because someone says something to them, criticizes them. So you need to learn how to rein that in and use your negatives at the appropriate time, at the right triggers. Like if someone was crossing the road and they're going to be knocked down, you know, you'd shout and you get aggressive, you know. So you use them at the right time, and you need to learn that these negative ones, you need them for life. You need everything in life, but as a small proportion, and all your positive ones, your love and your kindness and your patience and tenderness at a high volume. You need to learn that. And that's becoming full circle then. When you do all that, you become a piece of everything, and you become strong, you become a masculine energy and a feminine energy. And at the end of the day, everyone, you know, they kind of know their plight and they know their dark side, and unfortunately sometimes it's your family that has caused that, you know. And when you're on the road to self-discovery and realization, people that don't want to be awakened from that healing part will probably try and stop you. So it's really important to be around the right people, the people that are on the same path, and get some help, support, self-help books, audios or counselling, and different things, and be around the right people that aren't going to stop you from growing. That's really important, so it is. So that's what I wish, and that's what my message is for you today. The other thing I want to say is, it's a lovely saying, it's called "I am human and not inhuman is alien to me." And what that means is, you know, I see it all the time in the Catholic religion. A lot of people, they're very religious and that, but they frown upon other people in other religions, and they're just like, well, they're not the same religion as us, and they're the wrong religion. And it's, you know, they're nearly racist against them for being a different religion. But this lady, Lorna Bourne, she's an Irish writer. She writes about angels, because angels speak to her. And she was saying this lovely message. She was saying that all the angels are telling her to go to America to give the message. It's probably because it's very multicultural and it's the free country, but it's the start there, and hopefully go through the rest of the world. But it's the message is prayer is prayer, and we're all under the same umbrella, no matter what religion we are, and we're all God's children. And I think that's really important, because other religion to me is only a stem off from maybe the main religion. It's like if I told you a story, you tell it different. You know, your interpretation would be different, and that's all other religions are. And to me, human is human. I don't look at people any other way, and I think that's really good message to get out there. And even the Pope was saying it. He said all religions need to come together, need to unite, and it's really important. because the other problem is, I know people with religion, they have different values, and that's why you might think differently, but the other thing is other people are judging other people for their religion, but other people, which is very sick and unhuman, is to judge someone for the colour of their skin. Everyone's human, and that's a very sick, unpure thing to come out of people. And you'd see older generations a bit more like that. And the problem is, if you become institutionalized, you can't change your thoughts. So I just, old people, they're old, there's no point trying to change them now. Just leave them be. They're ignorant, and that's it. But Nelson Mandela said, no child is born racist, and we've acquired that, and we've given that to kids, and the kids that are coming into the world now, they should not be taught that. No one's born racist, and it's an evil, disgusting thing. So it is, to judge someone for the colour of their skin. You could nearly say religion, because it's different values, but a human is a human, and that's it, and that's the way you should see people. So I'm human, and everything is, anything human is not I'm human, and human is nothing human is alien to me. Yeah, I am human, and nothing human is alien to me, and that's a really important message to get out there, because many people have went, they've left this planet, and they're not forgotten, like Nelson Mandela, Gandhi, Jesus, Buddha, Mother Teresa, all of them. And they definitely left a legacy behind them, but none of their prophecy has come true. There's still war. They've tried to calculate when there was never war, and it was never really a time. And there's still racism, and there's still poverty, and there are things that should not occur in this world. And it's definitely, the mystics talk about it, that we lived in ignorance for the last 5,000 years, and we're moving into another era. It's in the Hindu religion, it's called the Kalki era, if you've ever heard of that. And we're moving into enlightenment. So they think we're coming to a new cusp. Some people will think we're coming to extinction, and others think will all change, and a new race will begin, and there'll be no war or poverty or racism, and hopefully that is the case. But I think some of us think we need to change the world. Really, all you have to do is change yourself. All you have to do is sweep your own doorstep. Once you start doing all the inner work, if you change yourself, you'll have the capacity to maybe change people around you, change your community. If everyone just did one thing, like plant one tree, or when you're doing all your inner work and you're full, you'll start saying, what can I do for the community? Maybe just visit an old person once or twice a week to check up on them. And that's all you have to do. It's just those little things. If everyone does a little thing, it makes a massive difference. And it's definitely something I wish, too. I'm definitely pushing for that myself, to work towards that. I like to change myself so I can help others change themselves, And that's all it takes. It just takes you to change yourself. That's all. It's a simple thing. And in that life, there's loads of abundance and love, on the journey, the inward journey. You shouldn't close the door on the inward journey. Definitely go for it. Walk that road. But yeah, that's my message. So we're coming into 2017, and definitely new beginnings and new horizons hopefully will come, and I will talk to you probably in 2017. That's all I'll say for today. Hope it didn't shock you too much. But yeah, that's pretty it, I'd say. It's getting that message out there, being pure, being real, and don't be the person that spends your time judging others and seeing what they're doing. Be productive, look after yourself, be responsible for yourself. Don't waste your time talking about others and what they're doing. It's a waste of your life. Be proactive. If you're talking about someone else, what they're doing, you're wasting your life. You know, don't be one of those people. Be talking about new ideas and what you can do to change your community or what you can do to change yourself. But don't be one of those people wasting their time yapping about what others are doing and complaining and judging. All right, come here, I'll talk to you again. God bless. Take care. Bye.